G'day guys, this is Holy Critic and welcome back to my 17th episode of Quick Reviews. Now, today's movie is a rarity to say the least. Hostages stars Colin Firth, Kathy Bates, Natasha Richardson and Harry Dean Stanton to name a few, but it has long been lost to time. It was never released on DVD for some strange reason, and yet the performances in it are worthy of great praise. It's based on true events surrounding a dark chapter in world history. It starts out in 1986 amidst deep unrest in the Middle East. Lebanon has been ravaged by a brutal civil war that rages between different religious factions. As they fight for control of the country, a disturbing trend emerges. Westerners from all walks of life begin disappearing en masse. This is where we meet reporter and foreign correspondent John McCarthy, played by Colin Firth. He's travelled to Beirut to document these kidnappings and bring them to the attention of the British public. Little does he know, however, that he's about to become part of the story. On his way to the airport, his envoy is ambushed by terrorists who bundle him into an awaiting car. Dazed and confused, he's stripped naked, beaten and then shackled to the wall of a dingy hellhole. Meanwhile, back home, his partner Jill, played by Natasha Richardson, anxiously waits for news of his well-being. As months pass without word, hopes of recovery begin to fade. The British government resigns itself to defeat now that the Iranian-backed rebels have seized control. It seems that they aren't interested in ransom money, but rather are demanding the release of imprisoned terrorists, something which is non-negotiable as far as the Americans and the Israelis are concerned. John, however, remains oblivious to this, as his captors offer no answers. While all seems despairing, he does find some small comfort in the company of fellow captives. Through the torture and deprivation, the men develop a tight-knit bond of companionship and camaraderie which carries them through. The families of the men also unite together to lobby action from their governments. Most vocal is Peggy Say, played by Kathy Bates, who's relentless in her pursuit to bring them home. She does all she can to break the diplomatic stalemate by crossing the aisle and negotiating directly with the Iranians. Hostages is a gripping drama because you really feel empathy for these poor men. As you see them bound with duct tape and bundled into a tight crawl space, you can't help but feel terrified and claustrophobic. It's hard to imagine suffering that indignity for 5 minutes, let alone 5 years like they did. The movie never loses focus of its historical accuracy either. Scattered throughout the story are real news excerpts which provide context to the socio-political environment at the time. It was fascinating to watch how the Iran-Contra scandal and the First Gulf War tied into hostage negotiations and the shift in foreign policy. I honestly believe that if this film wasn't a TV movie, it would have received way more recognition. That's why it's easily earned a final rating of 4 Halos out of 5. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed watching this installment of Quick Reviews, and be sure to drop a thumbs up if you agree. I've also created a new Top 5 series playlist on my channel. Be sure to check out my latest episode on the horror movies you must see in 2019. I'm sure it'll surprise you. But for now, God bless, stay safe, and this is Holy Critic, signing out.